I just found 10 cash flowing online businesses that you can buy today. And my only mission is to show you guys exactly how to buy them. We're going to dive into my thesis for these businesses, and then we're going to rank them from lowest cash flow margin all the way to the highest. You're not gonna believe some of the businesses that we found that have insane cash flow margins. And you know what? F it, a little spoiler. One of the businesses towards the end of this video is doing 95% cash flow margins, and it is a video game server software. Nuts. And let me tell you something. Every investor in the entire world would love to own one of these kind of businesses. And what kind of investor am I? Well, I'm Kenny Finance. I'm your private equity baby that came out of the womb finding great businesses, buying great businesses, and growing them. That is all I know. It is in my DNA. And I spent 10 plus years working at the best private equity firms on Wall Street, Blackstone and KKR, where I specialized in technology and software investments. So rest assured that I know this space like the back of my hand, and I am here to take everything that I learned on Wall Street, literally everything, and give it to Main Street completely for free. And I got no time to waste. Let's dive into the 10th investment, and that is advertising software. Let's rock. So for advertising software, aka automated ads, this is taking the archaic form of advertising, commercials and billboards, and turning it into a digital-enabled ad printing empire. That is right, creating great ads, finding great ad placements, and ensuring that those ads actually convert. These are the type of software companies that enable that thesis. And what's really cool is I found a listing that is for sale that we can go hit up the bankers and buy literally today if we wanted to, and this is the business. They do automated ads, and they're based in Alabama, and this business is asking $1.5 million for a purchase price, meaning if we wanted to go buy this business right now, the cost to own it is $1.5 million. So let me show you some stats on this business so you can understand the financial profile. And keep this in mind as we think about all the other investments as well. So one of my favorite stats is revenue. How much revenue and sales is the business bringing in? This one does around $1.4 million of revenue. And then cash flow margins, meaning how much that revenue converts into profits. This one is doing 36% profit margins. Now, math time. How do we arrive at that profit margin number? This is important to know for the rest of the video. So for margins, it is taking whatever the metric you want to use. Some use gross margins, some use EBITDA, some use net profit, some use proxy for cash flow like STE, whatever that number is, we're taking the annual profit divided by the annual revenue. And that gets you the margin profile, which you can compare across other businesses. But then also, more importantly, we want to understand what multiple this business is being sold at. Now for the multiple, you calculate that by taking the asking price for the business, how much is it being sold for, so 1.5 million divided by the annual cash flow that the business is generating. And this business is generating $500,000 of annual profit. So that multiple is around 3 times. And we can take that 3 times and we can benchmark it across other companies that have sold in a similar industry, similar geography to see if this particular business is under or overvalued. So we love to understand the revenue, the margins, and the multiple to get a sense of how financially attractive a business opportunity is. So what's the overall thesis for this business? Like, how are we going to make money? What's going to happen in the future? And why are we betting on this? And my thesis is that digital ad spend is going to continue to take off. Like, I read a stat that said by 2027, it is expected to hit $740 billion. And you know what piece of that market is growing even faster and wants to participate even more? Small businesses. So the demand for automated ad campaigns and solutions by small businesses is going to take off, and this software company specializes specifically with SMBs. So I think this is a brilliant thesis to enable small companies to tap into digital ad spend. Genius. But that's just the base layer for the cake. Let's dive into the next one, which has even better margins and an insane growth profile, and let's touch on workflow process management software. The world is obsessed with automation and standardizing business processes, and one of the best things you can do is just find a software that does it. We did even better, we found a company that does it. So let's see if we want to buy this one. All right, so we're in Idaho. We found a business that is doing workflow and process management. And this company is for sale for around $450,000, and it does $140,000 of annual revenue with 41% profit margins. That's impressive. Now, the multiple is so much higher than the last one, and that is typically because the growth profile is better, the margin profile is better, the end customer segments are more stickier. Overall, it should be a better business profile and competitive dynamics than the other business. Because in the private equity world, you got to pay to play for a really good business. A really great company is not going to sell for a cheap multiple. Plain and simple. But my headline thesis here is that businesses are trying to get rid of inefficiencies and automate and standardize processes. And there was a stat by Forbes that said that 30% of revenue from SMBs were wasted due to inefficiencies, meaning margin of 30% which is wasted. And there's going to be huge demand for businesses as AI continues to pick up and as processes get more complex to want to standardize and automate some of those workflows. So I think every business in the entire world needs to have some type of software solution focused on managing their workflows. And this one does exactly that. So this business focused on automating the workflows of a company. But what about automating the customer experience and the order processing for your business? This leads us to the next company, which is all the way in Japan, hotel management software. So we're taking our investments all the way to Asia. This is not a cap. Check out my amazing pictures from my trip last year to Japan, where I went to Tokyo and Kyoto, and it was so freaking dope. And now I want to buy a business there and move there permanently. But let's dive into a listing that I found that does hotel management software for a Japanese hotel. This company is for a pretty pricey penny. This one's selling for around $2.6 million, and it does $700,000 of annual revenue. But the margin profile is 65%. I'm only on the third one. This is so cool. All right, 65% margins. And the multiple that's expected is around 5.5 times multiple. Why invest in Japanese hotel management softwares? Well, number one, Japanese tourism hit an all-time high in 2024. That's very clear. Now, number two, the hotel segment in Japan is one of those verticals that still does not have 100% digital penetration, meaning there are some hotels that still rely on offline processes and tools to manage the customer relationships, the booking of reservation, the managing of the cleaning, all types of things. So if there is a software solution that can at least automate some of that, that's value creation, and it's really needed in a lot of these hotels in Japan. Now, I'm telling you, these are beautiful, amazing places to stay. They just need some tech. Now, I've received so many DMs, and many people have asked me, all right, these are great listings, but how the heck did you find them? Looking for you, Kenny Finance is nice. And let me grab my glasses and share my screen, and I'm gonna show you exactly step-by-step of how I find one of these businesses. So let's find the fourth one together. So let me put these on and open this up. We are going to go to a site called Flippa.com. And for context, Flippa is one of the world's largest marketplaces to buy and sell online businesses. So if you're a buyer like me, you can find incredible listings, but also if you own an online business, you can sell your company on there as well. And they have completed over 12,000 plus deals per year of selling and buying online businesses. And these can range across software companies, SaaS businesses, YouTube channels, blogs, newsletters, you name it. Anything that is making money online can be transacted on Flippa. All right, so let's see what Flippa has going on. I maybe want to find me a cool, fashion e-commerce business that we can purchase and acquire today. Let's maybe do fashion. You know why? Because Kenny Finance is the swaggiest YouTuber in America. All right, so let's try that. And then what's cool is we can filter for ones that are revenue generating. That's my prioritization. And then asset type. This is really cool because you can pick the type of software business or online business that you want to acquire. Now, you'd have a bunch of different options across websites, software businesses, YouTube channels, e-commerce stores. But for this one, I want to focus on a fashion e-commerce business. But not just the online business type, you can also filter for the financial characteristics, like the revenue size, the profit, as well as the price of the business that you want to acquire. And let's just say I've been saving up a little bit, so I want to get something that's around $200,000 all the way to $300,000. Max, that's it. And then from there, you can also figure out the multiple that you want to pay. And for this multiple, I'm not willing to pay more than 3 times. Max, that is it. And then sell a location. I'm based in America, so I'd love to have something that is in the US. So let's pick North America as well. And then voila, let's see what kind of listings we have. Ooh, Glamour Rental in New Jersey is an online platform offering rental services for designer clothing. I like that. And it used to be on sale for $300,000 and then it was reduced for $240,000. So we can maybe get ourselves a discount here. And it is based in New Jersey. It's been around for 7 years and it's doing almost $7,000 per month in profit. I like that, with 65% margins. Let's add it to the list. That is how you use Flippa to find and buy online businesses, and we would like to thank them for sponsoring this video, and make sure you guys check that link out down below to help find yourself your next best online business. But to be on sale for around $240,000 and doing 65% margins and selling for under a 3 times multiple, this could be worth looking into, because I think the headline thesis here is that folks still want to have and look really cool and nice designer luxury brands, but they don't want to spend the upfront cost to own it if they're only going to wear it 1 or 2 times. So what you see is popping off are rentals or vintage, but I think rentals is a popping segment within the fashion e-commerce space. So as folks prioritize savings and sustainability, I think the online rentals of luxury goods and clothes is going to take off and grow significantly. And this Glamour Rental is a pretty interesting business to help capitalize on that growing tailwind. But 65% margin was nice, but I think we could take it up a notch and maybe hit a 70% margin business. But this leads us to the next one, which is software marketing analytics. All right, so for marketing analytics software, I want you to understand one simple thing. The number one thing that marketers care about are conversions. And how do they identify what is converting? Using analytics. So for this listing, we found something that does autonomous visitor identification software, meaning that they help to collect anonymized data on people that are visiting a certain company's website. Super useful analytics. This business is listed for $2.1 million, doing almost $1 million of revenue at a 72% profit margin. And this one is being sold for 3.1 times multiple. Here's my thesis. I saw a stat by Forrester Research that said that 98% of visitors on a website do not convert into actual customers and sales. This particular business helps to identify them and gives marketers and businesses the analytics to understand how to change and pivot your marketing strategy to help convert them into paying customers. That's genius. So now you're understanding for businesses, there is a need to have the marketing analytics and data portion, but then there's also just need to have pure lead gen, bringing folks into the door in the first place. Why do they click your name? Why do they click your site? Why do they want to see what you have to offer? And that leads us to lead gen software for small businesses. What is lead gen? Lead gen is having something published, whether it's content, whether it's ads, whether it's anything that can showcase who you are as a business to help bring in potential customers. That is lead gen. Without lead gen, a business doesn't have customers. Plain and simple. Some of it's paid lead gen, some of it's organic. Regardless, all businesses need lead gen. And the businesses that don't have enough of it are small businesses. So we found a listing in Canada that does digital marketing and lead gen specifically for Canadian small businesses. And this one is for sale for around $300,000, doing around $200,000 of annual revenue. And the margin profile on this, I think we're starting to hit a stride here, is around 75% profit margins. And by the way, this one is selling for a 2 times multiple. And look, I already know what your natural question is going to be, like, why the heck is this business selling for so cheap? What's wrong with it? Businesses that are selling for that kind of multiple often have a few things. It's either significant overdependence on the owner, meaning that the owner is handling the sales, the development of the tech, the day-to-day, meaning that they are very involved. So if you buy this company, you're essentially buying yourself a cash-flowing job. Pretty much. So some people want to sign up for that, some people don't. Pick your poison. The other things could be potential declines in the growth rates of the industry of that company, or significant customer concentration, or maybe some skeletons in the business operations that just make it a little bit unattractive or complex for a new buyer. Regardless, I recommend to folks lean into the messy, the dirty deals, because that's where you can sometimes find incredible value. Find a business with some problems, fix those problems, and convert it into a best-in-class business operation. And you bought it on the cheap, and then you can sell it on the high, and that's what we like to call buying distressed businesses. But is this one distressed at 2 times? No, I've seen worse, but it's worth at least looking into. But my headline thesis for this one, look, in the US GDP, small businesses represent almost half of the US GDP. But most of them don't even have a marketing team. They can barely find an intern to make them TikToks. So what can they do? They can find an agency that specializes in lead gen for their particular vertical and that size. So boom, this Canadian lead gen marketing agency focused on small businesses is serving a very, very, very clear and specific niche in this overall industry. So they're probably crushing it. And oh yeah, by the way, this is also a $90 billion market. So lock in. So according to my basic calculations, we have given you guys 6 amazing online businesses that are cash flowing and profitable with ridiculous margins. These are kind of hard to come by. And if you guys are enjoying this video, do me a huge favor and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it means the world to me as well as the rest of my team as we try to get so much more Smart Money Moves content out to you guys completely for free. And when I tell you there are so many amazing things on the way for this channel, like ideas, investments, interviews, like this is gonna be a big year for you, like huge year. So I just wanted to say thank you and let you know that we appreciate your time as well as your support. But I know, get back to the list and let's start off with number 4, Fintech. All right, this one's a little niche, but let me tell you something. Niche prints cash, all right? Plain and simple. Understand that, shred lords. So for this business in Canada, shout out to my Canadians. You got a lot of great online businesses, by the way. This one does Fintech sales automation for financial advisors. So what does this mean for the ecosystem? The ecosystem is you have financial advisors that manage money and the wealth of super rich people. Those financial advisors have 2 key things: managing existing relationships and finding new relationships. And what can help that? CRM automation software. So we found a business on Flippa that does exactly that. This business is doing $240,000 as well as $120,000 of revenue. And the margin profile for this, I think you're starting to get the point. This one's banger. 78% profit margins. My headline thesis is that the financial advisory industry is around a $100 billion market growing rapidly because there is a huge transfer of wealth from baby boomers to millennials, and millennials are very much tech-enabled, lead gen-enabled, and they want to find a way to work with an advisor that can manage and help them build wealth. And for an advisor to stay organized, they kind of need a software for that. And so let me get this straight. This one's selling for almost 2.5 times multiple and generating almost 80% profit margins. Yeah, I don't care if I have to run this myself. This one's printing cash, so I'm flying to Canada. I might check this one out. Moving on to the next one, YouTube. All right, so you guys know what this is, but you're watching me on it. But did you know that you can buy a YouTube channel? And no, Kenny Finance channel is not for sale. But we found a really cool channel in a very interesting space niche that has around 540,000 subs. Crazy. Maybe one day Kenny Finance can get that big. Maybe. But this one is on sale for around $600,000, doing around $380,000 of annual revenue. And the margin on this is 79%, and they're selling for 2 times multiple. So that is clean. Not only is it cool that they're in like the space niche, that's probably the coolest thing to watch on YouTube, but then also consumption of television and news and edutainment has pivoted from TV and Netflix to going to platforms like YouTube. So viewership has done nothing but skyrocket. So this one that has 540,000 subs has a proven audience, proven base, and sounds like it has pretty good content, and it's only going to ride the tailwinds of an amazing growth of YouTube viewership. And oh yeah, by the way, when you have a YouTube channel, your monetization strategy works for all of the content on your platform. So we could be generating passive income for the 2,000 plus uploads that they've already put on the channel. So that's why I love YouTube as a business. That's why I love YouTube as a place to educate folks on financial literacy. But then also now it's like a super attractive investment opportunity. So at 2 times multiple, like let's check this one out as well. But I know you didn't come here for like the smooth 2 times multiple, 79% margin style businesses. Like you want the best of the best. And that's what I'm here to deliver to you guys. So these next two are doing 90% plus net profit margins. Like unreal type of business models, and they are on sale for attractive multiples. So let's dive into this next one, which is home service software. What is a home service? That is HVAC, that's electricians, that's plumbing, but what's the niche that we're looking for in this listing? This one is pool building. So this business does pool design and construction software based in Florida, and they're on sale for around $270,000, and it does annual revenue of around $100,000. And the margin profile in this business is 95% margins, and it's selling for around 2.8 times multiple. Here's the thesis. Home improvement tech is pretty much almost non-existent, but it is one of the best solutions that can be disrupted by AI. So you find a legacy business like this pool design software, and you add on the AI solutions like better CAD design, better modeling, and other solutions to accelerate the speed to providing your service as well as reducing your cost. And the cool thing is, if you're selling in markets like Texas and Florida and California, where people just need pools and need to have repairs or new builds, this type of design solution can accelerate so much for contractors or homeowners. Genius. And it's also so niche. And I told you, niche prints, okay? Say it with me, niche prints. But let's move on to an even better one, which is absolutely mind-blowing. And I thought this was fake, so I had to hit up the makers, and they verified that this is a real business printing real cash. This is what I like to call eGaming software. All right, so we are going to the happiest place in the entire world, Costa Rica, and this is the home to one of the oldest Minecraft servers. This business is on sale for around $300,000 and is doing $110,000 of annual revenue. And the margin profile in this company is 97%, meaning if it's making $100,000 of annual revenue, you're getting $97,000 of profit every single year. Minimal cost. And why is it like that? Odds are they spent a bunch of cash up front to build the business, build the servers, do the marketing, attract the customers. But once it was built, this thing does nothing but consistently print cash. So we're buying into a business that already went through the startup and the CapEx curve, and we get to buy it at the point where it is stably generating cash flow. And why is the owner probably selling? They're either tired, they probably have some type of involvement that they don't want to do, or they want to pivot to a new venture. I hear this stuff all the time. Regardless, it is worth looking into because it prints cash. Let me share my thesis. Minecraft. Yeah, that Minecraft has 140 million monthly gamers. Let me say it again. Minecraft has 140 million monthly gamers, and servers can monetize that entire gamer base. And what can you do? You can buy into that server owner ecosystem at 2.8 times multiple with 97% profit margins. Turn me up, chat. Turn me up, chat. Let's go. Yes, let's go. Now, I might have only played the tutorial in creator mode, but look, I still think that as a private equity investor, this is a great business to look into and acquire because I love those tailwinds. And boy, oh boy, were those 10 banger online business investment ideas. And when I tell you that you can purchase into ownership by using platforms like Flippa to find and diligence and purchase cash flowing online businesses, like life doesn't get better than this. But this ownership thesis can expand to businesses, it can expand to land. And if you're interested in purchasing yourself a nice Western style cash flowing piece of land, check out this next video where I outline the 10 best cash flowing land investments that you can go out and buy and connect with the bankers literally today. So I'll catch you either there or Minecraft on the next one. Peace.